Yeah, we can definitely do that. That is a great idea.
Those are the only kind I have.
Worth it.
Let's start at the beginning because a lot of people may not know. I mean, it's funny because I'll see tweets that'll come from people and it'll be like, hey, this guy doesn't know anything that he's talking about regarding the industry. And I'm like, do you have any idea of who it is that you are talking about?
To be honest with you, I'm kind of retarded.
So if you could let everybody know, take us from, I mean, when you was a wee lad, what got you into gaming and what was your kind of start within the gaming industry?
Holy smokes, that's a long time ago.
All right, we got all the time in the world. Go for it.
I'll try to be brief, but I've done a lot.
Yeah.
So I just like everybody else, I kind of grew up gaming, but back in my day, it was 8-bit computers, and I was playing games on Apple II computers, Apple II GSs, and I started writing my own games in high school. I wrote text adventure games. That was a big thing for a while. You had companies like Infocom and Zork, and I used to speed run those games. So whenever I got a new Infocom game, I would finish it, all the puzzles, in like just a couple hours, and that was kind of a challenge for me.
Okay,
I was really into it, and but making games wasn't on my mind. My parents wanted me to, who were Asian, wanted me to be like a lawyer, doctor, that type of thing. So I went to college and I continued to make games in college on my own and play games. Big fan of a lot of the old classics, XCOM, Wing Commanders, all that stuff. And then, I decided, well, I better go to law school because I'm Asian, right? Well, I'm half Asian. I'm half Asian and half white. So
yeah.
I went into law school and I said, law school is kind of boring. And a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, we've been working on a game together. Guess what? Interplay wants to publish us. And I was like, holy shit, really? And so I said, okay, but hey, I'm in law school. I can't do this. Sorry. And I turned him down. Well, he flew out to Boston to see me. Oh, my accent slipped there a little bit. Boston.
Okay.
Park the car in the yard and party at Harvard.
Are you, or are you not a knock? Am I speaking Japanese?
So he came out and he said, you got to do this. And I was like, okay, I'll give you a summer. And so I spent my summer for less than minimum wage slaving. I would literally roll out of bed, work on this game called Star Reach for Interplay, and which was a precursor to RTSs and actually partially inspired Blizzard to create one, amongst other games, like Herzog Zwei on Sega. And so, we made this game and we got it out there, and I was like, and I saw it on the shelves in game stores. Back then we had EB Games, and I was like,
yeah.
This is real. And I said, do I still want to do law? But I went ahead and I did my law degree, but I got another gig working for Naughty Dog back when Jason and Andy were working out of their room across from MIT. And I was there when they got the fax from Universal buying their company, and they were going to move out there. And we were working on a 3DO game called Way of the Warrior, which was a really kind of campy fighting game on the 3DO.
Okay.
And then I said, well, this game stuff looks like it's taken off. Maybe I should start a game company. And so instead of after I graduated from law school, I went ahead and started my first game company, and we were working on a game during the .com boom.
Okay.
And the game was called Crixa, and it was a top-down arcadey shooter type of thing. And in a sci-fi setting, obviously. And we had two bidders. So we had Bungie, who came to us and said, we want to publish your game. And we had Blizzard, who came to us and said, we want to publish your game. And I was like, okay, you two guys fight now.
That's how you do it. It's always the art of the negotiation.
I can't, I'll never forget the words Bill Roper, the producer of Blizzard at the time, said to me. He's like, oh, Bungie wants your game? We'll kick the shit out of any offer they have. So he said, fly out tomorrow. So I flew out, and I went out, and that's how we started working with Blizzard. Now, Blizzard changed their tactics. They had trouble making more than one game at once, and they were working on this little other game called Diablo. and they had to pick. And they said, "Look, we're really sorry. We're going to keep paying you for a month or two here, but we're going to focus on Diablo because we can't focus on more than one game type. But we'd like to hire all you guys." So there were 8 of us at the time. Say, "Hey, come out to Blizzard, and we'll make you happy, and we can work on games." And I was like, okay. Well, I looked around for investors, and it was the .com era. Unless you were making a web-based game, nobody wanted to talk to you because games were like, "What's that?
Yeah.
What industry is that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nothing."
Yeah.
The web is everything. So I was the only one who took the offer to go out there. A couple of my guys ended up as tech leads at Xbox, or art directors at EA Games, or starting their own, becoming CEOs of web companies. But I said, I'm going to go to Blizzard. I'm going to learn how to make great games, and then I'm going to try it again. So I went to Blizzard, and they had me on an internal project that was, they revealed this at BlizzCon, so I could talk about it now. It's called Raiko. It was the Japanese sort of not Diablo, but Diablo-esque type RPG game. Okay. And it was really cool, actually. But the team that was making it was very inexperienced, and I actually recommended that we cancel that project. But I said, I'll find you a new developer. Found a new developer. Anyways, this is really old history. Then I was associate producer on StarCraft, and then I was a producer on StarCraft 64, which was the Nintendo port. Then I became I worked on Warcraft Adventures. I brought in Steve Moretsky from Infocom, one of my heroes, to come revamp the game, but it was outsourced to a Russian studio, and they were doing a horrible job.
This sucks. I hate it here.
Shut up. Drink wolf milk and watch Russian cartoon.
So that's another project that I recommended that we cancel, and we did cancel that one. So I got the name Sling Blade in Blizzard for a while because I would cancel projects.
I've heard it said that a while, yes, sir.
Ruthlessly. I'd be like, this isn't up to Blizzard quality. And it was always external studios, never our internal stuff. There was a big quality difference. So anyways, I guess, I became manager of product development, and I oversaw development for all the titles as we tried to go multi-title at Blizzard. And then there was a project that was struggling called World of Warcraft, and they were not doing well, and the whole company was against it. And I said, I believe in this project. Let me come on board. And so I they were going to cancel it. The former team lead and tech lead had left to form ArenaNet. The game was on the chopping block, and there was I was with the CEO and two other founders, and I said, I could do this. Put me in, coach. And so I went on to. Oh, I was also producer on Diablo 2. That game I try to forget about because it swallowed my soul. Very painful development. But anyway, so I stepped onto to Team World of Warcraft, and I devoted myself to one project. I eventually became team lead, and it was a tremendous undertaking. And when we shipped the game, we didn't know what would happen. We didn't know if it was going to be a success. It's the first time Blizzard had ever lost money because we'd spent so much making the game, and we were on pins and needles. So yeah, that's my long-winded history.
Man.
There's a bunch of other stuff I left out, but hey, we'll keep it there.
Thanks for watching. Right now, the Rippaverse is in the middle of our latest campaign, Yaira #1, which was written by the Saskas. Head over to Rippaverse.com, pre-order, and check out our first live-action trailer and the latest Rippaverse Studios production, Y'all Be Easy.